Hi creators, Doro Kiley here with creationcoach.com, and I am a life coach, been a life coach for over 20 years, and so this is my 15-minute video on today's topic, which is creating our own reality and balance. This is a really good talk, and I want to thank my sister for sending me this video. I'm going to share it down below. It's a video by Jo Dispenza. Well, it's an interview by him or with him. It's called How Your Thoughts and Emotions Can Shape Your Life. So again, this is an interview with Jo Dispenza. The more I listen to him lately, the more I'm liking him. I've sort of followed him over the years, and he's been on a journey just like we all have, and I'm liking what he's saying more and more. So what I got out of this video is that, and this is very much along the line of coaching, and I do coach people on this topic, that some people become actually addicted to certain emotions because they're familiar. And if it's all you know, familiar is a good feeling. There was a great story by, I heard it by Stephen Levine many years ago in the 70s. He said there was, and I don't know if this is fact or whatever, but I believe it. He said in Africa, the government was getting ready to flood an area to create like a reservoir for the citizens. And so what they did was they sent out teams of people to hunt down and tranquilize as many wild animals as they could, so they could relocate them. And so they did. They were relocating lions and whatever they have over there, and relocating them to a new territory similar, with the way it was laid out with the vegetation. So they relocate them, and when they get to the other end, a couple 100 miles away, they open the cages, and the animals would not come out of the cages. The cage was at least something familiar. And you can see where I'm going with this. This is how we get addicted to certain things, whether they're healthy for us or not. So anyone who is addicted to a certain type of emotion is going to be challenged to change that. Now, this is a great video. He talks quite a bit about that. He gives it 8 weeks. You can't expect an overnight transformation. It does take time. So I appreciate that. And so he says we get addicted to these certain emotions, and when we try to stop that and try to, like any addict addicted to any drug, when you go through the stop and withdrawal, there's going to be some suffering. And most people will, fill that emptiness with something. And until we can get back to that state of familiarity, whatever it is, whatever we're addicted to. We may think we're addicted to food, but when in fact we are addicted to a certain emotion of dissonance or something familiar that, I'm bad or whatever it is. So we go back to our familiar story. So with that, what he's trying to put out there, I think, is that we have this very difficult situation where we are trying to hang on to the familiar, whether it's good for us or not. So how do you break that and come back into balance? Most people have to experience some kind of a trauma, hit bottom, so to speak, to really knock you out of that well-worn path of addiction. And, excuse me, I gotta let my cat in. Come on in, kitty. Yeah, come on. Come on, hurry up. Come on. Okay. So yeah, that well-worn path of addiction. Now, he's trying to say that why wait? Why wait for that hit bottom time? Why wait for the trauma? Why can't we do this intentionally? So it takes discipline. It takes a willingness. I won't even say a discipline. It takes a willingness, like almost an inspired action to change it, to simply imagine yourself to a point where not, and this is not for me, I don't care to tell people to visualize themselves as this or that, because that's in a way no different than watching TV and saying, oh, I like that and I'll take that. That's kind of doesn't, as far as I know, it doesn't work. Instead, to actually feel it, to embody it, to bring it into your being. I almost said imagination, and I guess to a degree it starts with some imagination. Yeah, it's a feeling it. You're seeing yourself there like in a dream, to the point where you're feeling it in your body. Dispenza gives a little example, a couple little examples about this, where he says, I think it was weight builders, if they they did an experiment with all these weight builders, where they had some weight builders not do anything. Is that how it worked? No, they had weight builders who were in the gym, doing the weightlifting and all. And then the other team, you'll have to watch it. He did such a better job of explaining it. So he says the other team was just envisioning it or feeling it or getting to that point of, like, trying to imagine it in their body that they were lifting. And after some weeks, days, I don't know what it was, they did a test between the two groups, and it was the same. He was indicating that the muscle fiber had actually kept up with those who were actually building it. I mean, with the machinery. So anyway, it's a great show, interview. I strongly recommend it. So that the issue was, if you're going to knock yourself off the track of familiarity, which has become your new normal, your normal, how do you redefine yourself? You're literally stepping into a new reality. How do you do that? And so it's like, how do you find your new balance? And most Westerners, and Jo Dispenza believes this as well, most Westerners believe that your emotions are the result of your external experience. Something out there happens, so it's affecting what's happening in your mind, your body, right down to the DNA. So that's very, very typical Western thinking. Eastern thinking is the other way around. They believe that what you are experiencing is the result of your emotion. Now, you could say past lives or whatever, but it's the internal state which is creating the external state. Now, in a way, Joe's Dispenza's argument is right, and the other one is right. I think they're both absolutely valid. And Ram Dass would say this is the only dance there is. There's this dance between the inner and the outer. So what does balance mean for you? It's not the same for everybody. So in this dance, it's like a waltz between the inner and the outer. It's the only dance there is. So you're waltzing between taking information in and having an emotional reaction to it, and the actions that you produce as a result of your emotion sets the stage for energy going out, which is going to return. So it's this dance. Only we can tell. If you're thinking in terms of a dance, only I know when I need to put my left foot forward. Okay, I can have all kinds of people judging how I do that, but only I know what I need to do in that moment, in that time, in that instance, under those circumstances. There is that, only I know how to put that. So you're following the rhythm and the sense of rightness to where to put your next step. So this is what I call balance. This is what balance for me indicates, is knowing what to do next with a sense of rightness and rhythm. It's you're doing it at the right time, the right place, maybe the right words if it's through speech. So this walks right into the Eightfold Path, which is the Eastern thought of how to create your experience through action, which feeds back into a quieter mind. Now, the idea of the quiet mind is my logo for my business is a butterfly coming out of its chrysalis after a process of metamorphosis. And its wings have not even finished unfolding. So you have inside the cocoon, if you will, the caterpillar, in the process of turning into a butterfly, actually turns into jelly, undefinable mush. And you could even, it was fascinating, you can withdraw some of that jelly, like through a needle, withdraw some, and it will still develop. I mean, if you have to do it at the certain right point of development where it's totally mush, and if you take some out, you don't end up with a deformed butterfly. You end up with a smaller butterfly. I mean, that just blew me away. I mean, yeah, you have to get it at the exact right time. But it's that timing of when can you make a change that I think is critical. So when you're trying to get something done, just crashing through it and checking it off the to-do list may not be the way to do it. And I know that this sounds difficult, but for me, this is where meditation comes in. If it's like bringing your mind into that state of mush, like a butterfly. So you are re-emerging after each session of meditation, you could say. So it's a great video. I should actually, maybe I'll go ahead and just post another video with perhaps a little talk about meditation below as well, because I do want to tie these two in. The Jo Dispenza video on creating your emotions, or creating your life through your emotions and thoughts, and then to use meditation as a tool to kind of reset things. So I can divulge that I was probably an alcoholic. I think it was a stress alcoholic. Definitely became an alcoholic a couple times in my life because of very stressful situations. And I credit meditation for helping me to rediscover or recreate myself. AA groups are wonderful and all that. They're good for community, which can help you re-identify yourself as well. But meditation can help you to literally sit, go into jelly, bring out and Deepak Chopra says, you put your intention into the gap, which for me means if you put your intention into this kind of state of no thought, no grabbing, no thinking, it's basically laying out a stencil for the universe to build on. You're not trying to control it. My mother always said, let God do some of it, so I'll go with that. So I'll put that below. I hope you enjoy them, and I certainly hope you will stay creative. Hi creators, it's Doro Kiley with creationcoach.com, and I'm on a mission to improve this world through you. If you get anything through these videos, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Stay creative.